Hey everyone, Forgotten Files here again with another spine-chilling story for you. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to comment what you would like to see more of on this channel. Story 1. A small production company was hired to film an investigative piece on a series of unexplained deaths at an abandoned hospital. The crew thought it would be a fun horror shoot, until they discovered the hospital's hidden wing. The tape begins innocently: broken floors, graffiti, empty wheelchairs. Then, halfway through, the camera picks up footsteps upstairs, slow, dragging, like someone in a cast. The crew laughs nervously, assuming it's each other, until the sound starts echoing beneath them. The camera pans down a hallway, and in the far end, there's a bed with a figure sitting perfectly still. A patient, an actor, but the shadows don't match the body. The figure's head is turned the wrong way. The cameraman whispers, "Guys, do you see that?" Suddenly, the tape glitches. When it clears, the figure is standing inches from the camera, staring straight at it. No eyes. Just black pits. The crew panics, running, but their footsteps are drowned out by a chorus of faint children's laughter echoing from every corner. In the background, a distorted voice whispers over the recording, "You shouldn't have come back. But I'll show you why." The camera falls, recording a blur of movement. When the editor finally watched it later, the tape had footage that hadn't been filmed. The crew members standing frozen in rooms, their faces slowly stretching into silent screams, as if something had already taken over the recording itself. The network never aired it. Everyone involved quit. Some say the tape still exists. And if you watch it, it doesn't just scare you. It watches you back. Story 2. The forgotten apartment. The rain tapped softly against the window as Lila carried the dusty VHS tape she'd found at the storage unit auction. It was unmarked, except for a small, faded label in shaky handwriting: "Do not watch." She laughed nervously to herself. "What's the worst that could happen?" she whispered, setting it into the old VCR she'd found in the corner of her living room. The screen flickered to life, showing a dimly lit apartment. At first glance, it seemed ordinary, even familiar, but then Lila froze. The furniture arrangement was exactly like hers. The camera slowly panned across the room, lingering on a couch, a bookshelf, and the same floor lamp she had in her living room. She swallowed hard, a creeping unease climbing her spine. At first, it seemed like a coincidence. Maybe someone had broken in and filmed it before her. But as the tape continued, subtle details began to unnerve her. A picture frame she didn't recognize appeared on the wall. The lamp flickered in the same pattern as her living room lights had flickered just minutes ago. She tried to convince herself it was nothing, until a shadow moved behind the camera. A dark, elongated figure, featureless, leaning slightly forward as if peering directly at her. Her heart pounded. She turned toward her own apartment, expecting to see nothing. But the shadow had shifted. It was now in the corner of her room. A low, distorted whisper filled the speakers: "You shouldn't have come back." Lila's hands shook as she reached for the tape to eject it. The tape snapped back into playing on its own. The camera's perspective had changed. It now showed her bed. In the footage, she could see herself sitting on the couch, staring at the screen in terror. The figure began slowly moving toward her on the tape, stretching unnaturally, limbs bending in ways no human should. Suddenly, a cold presence grazed her shoulder. She spun around. Nothing. The VHS hissed, the screen warped, and the distorted whisper returned, louder this time, "You're next." The next morning, neighbors reported her apartment empty. Lights were on, food on the stove, the door unlocked. But Lila was gone. The only evidence of what had happened was the VHS tape, still running in the VCR, now showing the empty apartment. And a shadow moving silently behind the furniture. Story 3, The Lost Road Trip. Jake and Mara thought they'd scored a steal at the junkyard, an old camcorder and a battered sedan with a full tank of gas. They planned a weekend road trip, filming everything, from roadside diners to abandoned gas stations. The first hour was mundane, laughter, playful banter, and shaky camera angles as they drove through rain-slicked streets. But as they settled into the evening drive, the camcorder revealed something odd. A dark figure appeared in the distance, standing by the side of the road. At first, they laughed it off, thinking it was a trick of the light. But every time the camera moved, the figure was closer. Each time they looked out the windshield, it wasn't there. The night deepened, and unease settled in. They stopped at a rest area, reviewing the footage on the camcorder. The figure had moved, closer now, just standing silently under a broken street light. Its face was featureless, a void where eyes should have been. A distorted whisper echoed faintly from the tape, "Why did you look?" Trying to shake it off, they drove on. The footage continued to document their journey, but subtle horrors appeared, shadows stretching at impossible angles, objects inside the car shifting slightly between shots. At one point, Mara glanced in the rearview mirror and saw the figure reflected in the glass for just a moment before disappearing. By the end of the tape, the camcorder showed their car parked in an empty lot. Outside, the two friends were frozen in place, staring directly at the camera, eyes wide with silent terror. Jake dropped the camcorder in shock. They ran to the car, hearts racing, and saw nothing. Except for fresh fingerprints smeared across the windshield, impossible for either of them to have made. The tape ended with a whisper, "You weren't filming the tape. The tape was filming you." Neither Jake nor Mara were ever seen again. The sedan sat abandoned at the junkyard, the camcorder inside still recording, as if waiting for the next person to pick it up. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. There's a lot more videos like this to come. Please comment what you all would like to see next. Until next time.